everyone, it's Julia. I wanted to work on my curved piecing today, and I just laid out this little landscape quilt, the strips, and I have a little house that I cut out of some other fabric. Now I'm a beginner at this, but it's a lot of fun. You lay both strips facing up, so right sides are up, overlap slightly, and then you take your rotary cutter without a ruler and you just cut a gentle curve. You want to make sure that that underneath part is, that you don't rotary cutter off of it. You want to make sure that that is overlapped. Then you remove those pieces, that bottom piece and that top piece, and then they should fit perfectly together. I take a piece of chalk and mark both sides of it, a few places on the strip, flip it over, and I'm going to pin. So my right sides are together now, and I'm going to pin right on those chalk marks. When I take this to my sewing machine, then I am going to stitch, and I do take about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and I just take a few stitches and then I stop and reposition. You want to make sure that those edges are together, and you just have to scoot it a little bit, and the bottom one tends to move out, so you just want to reach underneath and just make sure that they're meet. I leave my pins in until I get right to that point. Now those pins are where I did the chalk mark. And so as soon as I get to that point, I'm going to remove that pin, and then I just continue on. It's kind of a slower seam, but it's not hard. You just have to take your time. And then to my ironing board I go, and I'm going to just take my iron first, and I'm going to set that seam, and then I'm going to open it. I just seam like these gentle curves like this, press open quite well, and they just lay really nice. So opening that seam and then just getting that pressed flat. And I just love the look of it. And then it's on to the next piece. Now this next piece that I'm using is a pretty small scrap. I didn't have much of it. And so I am trying to figure out, it takes a little bit of brain work here, but I want to make sure that that goes off the edge so it just kind of disappears. It's going to look like a valley on my landscape piece. So I'm just doing some figuring out here how I want that to work. And then again, just taking my rotary cutter, and I'm going to just cut a gentle curve on this. And removing that bottom piece and that top piece. And then marking a few places and pinning. And just pinning right on those chalk marks. And then back I go to my sewing machine, and again, I'm just doing a scant 1/4 of an inch. And then taking my time, leaving those pins in until I get right to the pin. And then back to my pressing. And I just really love how that looks. It just looks like little hills and valleys. And this next piece I'm working on is my focal point. I just love this piece of fabric. And so I want quite a bit of it to show. This is going to be a little bit wider strip. I'm also going to be cutting out some of these florals. I have more of this fabric, and I'm going to be adding some appliques to my quilt using this fabric. Removing, marking, and then back to my sewing machine. I've got everything done now except for the sky, and I also want quite a bit of the sky to show. So again, I'm using some brain power just to figure out how I want that. And then after that's sewn, I'm going to even everything up, square everything up, And then it's on to my appliques. Again, I have that fun little house that I'm going to add. And then I'm fussy cutting some of these florals out of this piece. I'm using my 505 spray, and I'm flipping everything over on this cardboard lid. And I'm going to gently try to spray this without everything flying out. I'll link my products down below for you in the description. And once I get that on, it's just going to place them where I want them, and then just press them, or just with my fingers, just, get everything nice and smooth. I want to add some flowers right around that house. I'm just going to do some clusters of flowers there. And then on some of these strips that just needed some, I don't know, attention, like that green strip I thought was kind of plain. So I'm going to add some flowers there, and just in a cluster. And then on the bottom here too. I'm using some fusible fleece for the back of this. And I cut that fleece just a little bit bigger than my top. And I'm putting my pressing mats underneath here, and I'm going to press it from the top. I love using this fusible fleece when I'm doing smaller projects like this, or even like table runners and those types of things, placemats. It's just easy to work with, and if it doesn't quite adhere, you can flip it over and use a pressing mat, but it seems to adhere just fine from pressing it from the top. Now I have my fleece on the back, and I'm back to my sewing machine, and I have my free motion foot on. I have a medium brown thread, and I'm just edge stitching, edge application on this. Just going on the edge, but then on the flowers I'm doodling. I'm just going all over and adding little centers to them, and just adding some thread to those basically. They're little, and so I'm not trying to catch everything. And then the little house again, I want to add some detail. I'm going to go up and add a chimney. And a little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney. And then I'm also going to add some shingles to this roof. It's one thing I love about free motion stitching is you can really just add the details where you want them. And then on to my other clusters. And again, just doing some doodling, and that's appliques are on, and now I want to add my backing, and I have enough of this beautiful fabric, and I'm going to use that for my backing. And I do cut that a little bit bigger as well. And I'm just going to spray it with my 505 and then smooth that down. And then flip it over and do the other side. And I spray my fleece. I'm not sure the correct, maybe some quilters can chime in if you spray the fleece or the fabric, but I sprayed the fleece, and then smoothing it out and flipping it over and smoothing out the back as well. Back to my sewing machine, and I'm going to just free motion quilt this, and I changed to like a white thread for the sky, and I'm going to switch over to my medium brown thread for the rest of this. But for the sky, I'm just meander stitching. And I want to say that I do not have a thread, like a thread regulator. And my stitches aren't at all perfect. It takes practice, but I really enjoy it. And overall, it looks okay. You don't really notice that, oh, that stitch is too long. But this, and on each one of these little strips, I'm just doing a different design on. I thought this was a pretty boring piece here, and so I'm doing just a triangle on it. And I have some pictures at the end where you'll be able to see. And here too, you can see some of the different designs that I put on. Each one I just did a little differently. So all the quilting is done, and I squared up. I've already cut my fleece and my backing to match the top. And now it's to finish this off. And I have decided to do a facing instead of borders and a binding. And you've probably, if you watched my channel for a while, have seen me do this before. But you cut 4 5-inch squares, fold it, raw edges together in the corners. So you lay the corners on first on the top of your quilt. And then you measure. I have 2.5-inch strip, and you want to cut that 1.5 inches shorter than your measured top, bottom, and sides. And that gets clipped right over the top of those corners. Now, like I mentioned, I love the borders and binding, but sometimes on certain quilts you want it to look continual. Like if it's a modern quilt and also like a landscape quilt, I don't want a border to stop it. I want it to look like it just goes on. And so this is a great, just a great technique, and it finishes it off really nicely. When you clip, you just want to make sure that that triangle or that corner piece is right at the top, so you don't miss it when you're sewing. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to add the corner pieces to the bottom, and then also measure and cut my other facing pieces. And when this is all clipped on, I am going to take it to my sewing machine, and then I stitch using a 1/4 of an inch seam all the way around. And then it's just time to flip it. Flip everything out, poke those corners out. You want to make sure that none of the facing shows on the front. And so I am going to press this from the front using a lot of steam and just rolling the seam, just to make sure that that is all, out. Because I have the backing showing now, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to press it again from the top. And then stitch from the top, and I stitch at a 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. Everything is done now. It's finished off, and then it has a wonderful little automatic pocket for your dowel. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. I have some pictures at the end. Hope you have a chance to create this week. Bye for now.